What's going on in the hood? How's everybody doing? Can all hear Bulls on Wall Street. I want to talk to you about a play today. I really like this play that we did today. This is what we call a second day play, and that we did on a CYCC. So this is a play that we take in the morning, and why I like this, why I call it a second day play. I'll make 1,300 bucks on it, but it's the second day play involves momentum stocks. And so one of the things that you guys got to understand about momentum stocks is they tend to run in groups of 3 to 5. So a stock has a PR out or some type of news out. It doesn't just run that day and then, right, you never hear from again. You know, it could be the potential start of a new trend, or it could be just something that's got a momentum for a few days. But usually, that second day, you'll often have a continuation of the previous day depending on how the stock closed and where it's at on the chart. And so one of the things you'll see with CYCCs, now that it had that huge day yesterday, what we're looking for as the chart is starting to round out is we're trying to find a secondary play for the next day based on what we saw the previous day. So you saw this big trend yesterday. See that? And so when I get a stock like this that is up 30-40% the previous day, I want to know and see what type of secondary play I can get. So we call that a secondary play. And so one of the things that I'll look for in the morning is 2 different types of setups. Number one could be a red to green play, or the second type of play I'll be looking for is some type of rounded base near lows that may spike it into red to green. And then what happens is if you get a breakout, now you've got your momentum thrust. And so one of the things you'll see with the CYCCs, it opened up weak, and you started to see this rounding in the chart. So hold on over here. Let me bring in this other chart here. So you start to see the rounding of this chart here, right here. So see how it opens down? And then you start getting this rounding action. So what happens is you have your previous high from the previous day and then the high of the day about 740 today. So you're starting to essentially build yourself out a little flag there. And when you get this rounding action here, that allows you a spot where you can minimize your risk. And that's what trading is all about, right? Sure, we want to get into the best momentum stocks, but what we want to do is figure out lines in the sand, inflection points where we can get in and a stock can be explosive, but it also gives us a very obvious spot to get out of it. And that's one of the things that I'm always doing when I'm trading, is not just thinking about how do I get in the stock, where's the breakout, because that's a very small piece of the stock. The biggest question I'm always asking myself, especially in a stock that's up 30, 40, 50% in the last couple of days, if this thing doesn't work the way I want, how do I get out easily and cleanly without taking a big loss? And so one of the things that you'll see with CYCC is as you start to get this rounding action, you're starting to build out a base, and you've got your moving averages coming up right under it. And so right when you start to come out of its flag and break the resistance from the previous day, now you've got yourself a push. And so we added 2,000 shares in the chat room. Stop right under these MAs. And so I was risking about 25, 30 cents max on it, so about $600. And one of the things you'll see here is you get this big push up into 8. And so as with anything, I'd like to sell a partial position. And then you see as it comes back, what are you building out here? You're building out a higher low. So this is a hold, or even a potential new add if you wanted to down over here as you're just resting on your EMAs. And you're starting to coil up again. And then now you get your secondary push into this. And, you know, we ended up selling all our shares up into the 860s. I let this thing run to the 9, and then when it started to reverse, I got out around 860, 857, my last shares. I wanted to see if this had the push to get to 10 or 11. You never know, right? And so what we do is we look for a reason to sell or some type of look that would signal to us that the trend is reversed for the day. And when I get that, I start bailing out of the position and I take the rest of my profit. So the stock was riding up nicely, and when I got the signal that it's starting to reverse, I got out of here and took the rest of my profits. And once again, I didn't have a huge position size or anything like that. You know, come in a couple thousand, and then nip and tuck your way. You know, you can add a few hundred here, and as you see fit, some different patterns within it. And that's your secondary play. And so remember that when you guys are playing these PR stocks, you have the first day in which you're going to use very specific patterns, but then your second day, you're going to look for different things than you would look for in the first day. And so always kind of compartmentalize that, and you'll have a nice 2-day plan for when you get a good momentum stock. So that's it for now, guys. Once again, I'm on video all day, screen share, alerts, music, the works, on bullsonwallstreet.com. It's called our Bulls Vision program. We have huge deals all the time on bundle packages for annuals and quarterly, so you can get 50% off if you want to come watch me trade and see what I do. And feel free to ask me any questions. As always, I love comments, and I'll make sure to get back to you in a timely manner. Take care.